NTV.
A very good morning once again. Thanks for staying with us right here on Morning at NTV. Our next conversation is focusing on the Jumia Food Festival campaign that took center stage from October 1st and will be stretching all the way to October 31st. Now, the objective of the Jumia Food Festival campaign is to promote the adoption of meal and food ordering online among consumers. And I do have the CEO of Jumia Food, that is Mr. Ron Kawamata, and he joins me right now on set here at Cafe Java's Parliamentary Avenue. A very good morning, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Let's get into the nitty-gritties. How do you believe COVID-19 has affected or impacted the food market and communities in this country?
Well, COVID-19 has affected the whole economy, but no sector has been affected as much as the restaurant industry, as much as the informal market vendors.
Yes.
The food supply chain has been greatly affected, and this has been an issue.
Yeah.
And obviously, the curfew that ends at 9 p.m. means many restaurants are not able to do dinner business, which is the biggest part of their business. For many restaurants in Uganda, they make about 70 to 80% of their revenues from dinner orders.
I see.
And so with the curfew, which means that many of the restaurants have to close at around 5 or 6 to allow their employees to be able to make it home. People don't realize that for the wage earners, for the chefs, for the cooks, for the cleaners, who often have to take taxis back home, who have to take borders back home, need to leave around 5 p.m. to be able to get home in time.
So the reduced hours have impacted negatively on the restaurant business, the fresh produce markets, because they have to close by 6 p.m.
By 6 p.m.
Because even the transportation will stop at 6 p.m.
Exactly.
Yes.
Border service stops at
which means the workers have no way of going home. And so they have to leave even earlier. Even for those who are taking taxis have to leave earlier because of the traffic jam. As we've been seeing recently.
And they'll have to miss out on customers who might want dinner.
Exactly. So it's a ripple effect that the workers have to leave earlier. The customers have to also leave. People are spending 3-4 hours in traffic. This has had a terrible impact on the restaurant industry.
So as it is, would you advocate for the extension of the curfew hours, maybe up to 11 p.m.?
Yes. We've seen in countries like Kenya and countries like Rwanda where they have extended up to midnight. That it's helping the businesses.
Yes.
It's helping the wage earners who have enough time to do their work and be able to go home. And I think this is, we need to make sure that this curfew is affecting everybody equally. For you and me who can drive home and even get home at 10 p.m., we're not as affected. But for the people who rely on borders, have to leave the town at 5. There's not much you can do at 5 p.m. The same with those taking taxis. So we know that the countries like Kenya and Rwanda who have extended the curfew to midnight without any impact on the infection rate of COVID-19.
So in light of all these debilitating effects on the food industry, I see Jumia took the initiative to launch the Jumia Food Festival campaign, 1st October all the way to October 31st. You want to offer reprieve to these food market vendors who have been affected by the global COVID-19 pandemic. But how so? How have you been implementing this initiative?
Well, number one is that we realize that when the restaurants are affected, the whole supply chain is affected. Right. Farmers who have the fresh produce in the villages, middlemen who move these products to the markets, everyone is affected.
Yeah.
Number one, we did about 3 months ago, and we discussed this when we launched a platform with UNDP to allow the informal sector.
I'll interrogate you on that.
Exactly, we allow them to keep selling to customers who are home. But now what we've done is we've launched the Jumia Food Fest.
Yes.
The Jumia Food Fest is an opportunity for customers at home, for consumers, to support their local restaurants. Restaurants in turn have given up big discounts. Jumia has subsidized the pricing and many times delivery, and we have more than 50 restaurants in Kampala who are offering 50% off, who are offering buy one get one free, and so this is an opportunity for them.
I saw a bucket of KFC at only 21,000.
Yes, a bucket of KFC at 21,000.
Yes.
We have 50% off everything at Food Hub.
Yes.
We have great discounts at many restaurants. And these restaurants are saying The times are tough. We've been through a difficult time, but the customers have stood with them. And this is an opportunity for them to give back. And I also want restaurant. They have given incredible discounts now that are available on the Jumia food platform. And it's not just the restaurants, but also other vendors like your Kuku, who is a chicken vendor. We have groceries, we have the markets, Nakasero Market. These vendors are saying we're willing to earn a little bit so we can stay in business. So
Speaking of staying in business, Mr. Ron Kawamata, what are the digital and tech solutions that are needed to support the members in the food supply chain in Uganda now?
Well, I think number one is that when the pandemic hit here in Uganda, all these restaurants were closed. But the only reason they stayed in business, the only reason that the lights stayed on was because Jumia Food was doing delivery for them.
Amazing.
They managed for 3 months when people could not leave their house. Jumia Food was the only revenue these restaurants were earning. So we've seen that technology can sustain a whole industry at a very tough time. During the lockdown, we've seen that small companies, young entrepreneurs came together, started logistics companies to be able to deliver items from the supermarket.
Right.
We saw young entrepreneurs starting online shops, delivering water, delivering gas. That is great. People are using their ingenuity to make sure we can survive and we can thrive in this difficult time.
Indeed.
And we see more now, Ugandans have embraced technology. Ugandans are selling to each other online. They're buying from each other online. That's no longer the future. It's here now. And COVID has shown that automation is the way to go. It has shown that companies who have an online presence can survive this pandemic better. So for me, I encourage all businesses
To go online.
get your online footprint now, because the future is what it is.
But then it might be hard for people in the rural areas because there is low internet proliferation, so they might not embark on internet use to be able to operate and retrieve to themselves. What solutions do you have for the people in the rural areas, and also what plans, what expansion plans do you have for Jumia in the next couple of years?
Yeah, for us, we operate in all the districts of Uganda, where in every district we deliver to every village.
So besides internet vendors,
besides-
you also
so-
have physical agents.
We have
within all these
physical
districts.
agents.
I
We
see.
have what we call Jumia pickup centers
Yes.
in every district. So you can order here from Kampala and have it delivered in Fort Portal, have it delivered in Kasese, have it delivered in Gulu.
If you
And
don't have internet, you can use a phone call.
You can use a
What
phone.
is the toll-free line?
I don't have the toll-free
Yes.
line number within my head, but
Then go to the site.
you go to
Jumia
the
Food.
site on the Jumia app or the Jumia website, and you can call us if you need to place the order, and we deliver it anywhere in Uganda.
And lastly, Mr. Ron Kawamata, expansion plans for Jumia in the next couple of years.
Well, I think what we're looking at now is that we have shown customers that we have the best prices in the market. We have the widest assortment, about 1.5 million products on the Jumia app.
Amazing.
We have about 300 restaurants in the Jumia Food app. So expansion for us is taking Jumia Food. We're in Jinja now, we're soon going to Mbara. But on the main Jumia app, we're already available in the country. Our goal now
That is amazing.
is to continue increasing the assortment, and keep lowering the prices, and keep giving customers
and
what they
Mr.
need.
Ron Kawamata, Morning at NTV and NMG shall be here to give you all the support that you need. But as
Thank
it is, you've also been grappling. You've lost over 100 vendors on the Jumia Food app. Do you anticipate to lose more people if this COVID-19 pandemic does persist?
Well, you raise a very good point, that this pandemic has taken many companies out of business. We've seen almost 120 restaurants who have closed, permanently closed. And this is terrible. These are people, these are the job creators, these are
You
entrepreneurs.
expect it to get worse?
If we did not change, if we did not move our curfew to midnight, for example, if we did not have a plan to help these businesses pay rent, if we did not talk to the landlords to give a reprieve for this, we will see a bigger and deeper and more painful impact on the restaurant business. Because losing 120 restaurants in 3 months in Kampala is huge. Those are jobs that are gone. So I call upon the government to please look at the restaurant industry. as one of the biggest employer, as one of the biggest buyers of fresh produce who supports farmers. We cannot survive in this business if curfew is at 9. There's no scientific basis for a 9 p.m. curfew. Move it to midnight.
Move it to midnight and help these businesses.
And help this business to survive and keep employing people.
Indeed.
Please, government.
Ron Kawamara
Curfew
is,
at midnight.
Yes,
Thank
Ron
you.
Kawamara is sending a plea to the central government to extend curfew to at least midnight so that restaurant businesses and other members in the food supply chain can thrive during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Ron Kawamara, many thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Indeed, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, but you can stick around. You're still watching Morning at NTV.